Charles. Not that recent. I am homeless, but about 5 months. Oh, through a series of events, actually. It started when me and my wife split up, and I just kind of went on a downhill spiral after that for a while. Made some wrong decisions and then lost my job, and then I was in Idaho at the time, and I hit the road, and I ended up here. Not around here.
From Idaho?
Well, actually, they're even further away.
Oh, they're further away?
I was there with my wife, but her family was there, but my family is way in Nebraska.
Are you saving up to go back to Idaho?
Or Nebraska?
Yeah.
I am actually hoping to go to Nebraska, but, well, that's kind of, I've hinted around and to my sister and stuff, waiting to see to kind of like get an invite to feel more welcome first, you know what I mean? And I haven't actually told my wife that.
Oh, okay.
But I have hinted that I'm homesick. Apprehensive, a little worried and apprehensive, but I do have faith. I was mad at God when the split up happened and stuff, and I didn't understand why, you know, didn't think it, you know, and so I was kind of like angry at God and stuff, which there's no future in that. But I was worried a little bit, but I wasn't extremely worried, but because I do have faith.
Well, we actually work with homeless veterans.
Oh, you do?
Yeah, so, you know, obviously we're very involved with homelessness, and, you know, the sad thing is, you know, with the economy and getting jobs, but also people who have health problems or mental health problems, and the safety nets that you know, should be taking care of them, you know, as a society, have really been emptied out. And so there's very few places where people can go for real help, and be able to just live, you know, a modest life, but to be housed in a clean, dignified, safe environment. So, you know, we work to make sure that there's more housing for homeless veterans. Not necessarily without help. There are some really, really difficult hurdles to, you know, get medical care or get benefits or, you know, get any kind of income, and it's very complicated. And so, you know, especially if someone is disabled, it's next to impossible for someone to navigate that without help.
I don't think most people homeless, they don't choose.
Yeah.
There's a lot of factors, social, economic factors, and mental health issues, and that's the reason why we find them on the street. A lot of homeless here in San Francisco are dealing with a lot of psychological issues, and they really need to be taken care of. We have enough empty space in this city to house all homeless people. If we really want to tackle it, there's enough abandoned buildings in the city to really house people and come back. Swords to Plowshare, the Veterans Service Organization. We help them in a number of ways. Swords to Plowshares has been around since 1974, and we offer a full continuum of care, and that starts at the very basic level, housing. We just talked about. If a veteran doesn't have housing, that's what we first try to get them linked into housing, jobs.
Healthcare, disability benefits, employment, of course. Yeah. And we have housing on Treasure Island. What do we have? About 70 clients over there in housing. We have housing at the Presidio. We have 102 beds at the Presidio, and we're currently rebuilding a building on Otis Street that's going to house about 70 senior veterans when it's done. It'll be done in a little less than a year, next fall. In some cases, people fall on hard times, and they can't get out of it, and you know, a little bit of help, and then you find out that they're just like you or I, you know.
Yeah.
And so I think when people think about the homeless as the homeless and the other, but if you're involved, then you see that they're people just like everybody else. Well, I mean, in a lot of ways, we're where we were prior to the Depression.
Yeah.
I don't know if you've studied the robber barons in history, but the inequality of wealth between super rich and the rest of us is the biggest gap that it's been since before the Depression, and unless things happen, and I think, you know, I'm really supportive of the Occupy movement and people becoming aware of this income inequality and how, you know, it leads to such, you know, suffering and strife for so many of us who are just trying to get through life, you know, feed the children, pay the rent, have a job where you're treated with dignity and paid a fair wage. So, I mean, I hope that we can curtail it before that happens.
The job market isn't even better. We're finding out that more and more people are still having a hard time finding work, and we've had people who've been unemployed for so long that it's really you know, difficult for them to even get in the job market at any level, no matter what they're seeking.
And even the benefits that are out there, I mean, recently Jackie Spears spent a week eating what she could afford on food stamps. You could look up the articles, but it's not enough money to have, you know, good, healthy food and not be hungry all the time. So even the benefits that are out there aren't adequate, and they're being cut all the time, you know, by a Congress that refuses to collect taxes on the wealthy and will cut Medicaid and food stamps and all kinds of